chamber beyond this wall.
Well, in honor of one of my favorite upcoming holidays, and yes, to me it is a holiday, here's another look back at a horror-themed game that it's hard to believe is over half a decade old. Point of fact, it's actually an expansion pack, therefore marking it as the first expansion I've covered, and probably today it would be released as DLC, but back in 2005 it came complete with its own retail packaging, and I snatched it up eagerly. I'm referring, of course, to Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil, the expansion to id's long-awaited 2004 release Doom 3, but that goes without saying. But let's rewind a moment. Doom 3 was a game that some players embraced wholeheartedly as a tense, nerve-shredding thrill ride, while others dismissed it as just another pretty face with a boring personality. That truth would probably put the game somewhere in the middle of these two viewpoints. When the novelty of the game's then unprecedented graphics had worn away, there was still a suspenseful, atmospheric shooter beneath, albeit one that didn't revolutionize the genre in terms of gameplay. Resurrection of Evil was clearly not designed as a concession to the Doom 3 naysayers, as it essentially offered more of the same, just maybe with a tad more emphasis on combat as opposed to yelling boo. Its emaciated storyline saw a brand new Space Marine shipped off to the ill-fated Mars base 2 years after the conclusion of Doom 3, where he soon discovered an ancient artifact that wasn't only a convenient plot device, but also perhaps the most unique addition to the game. With it, you as said Marine could slow time to a crawl and get the drop on your enemies, or go berserk on them instead. Sometimes these abilities were necessary to proceed, but mostly they just served as welcome backup when you were knee-deep in demonic hellspawn. In a nod to Doom 2, Resurrection added a double-barrel shotgun to your arsenal, and thank God for that, as it was easily one of the most powerful demon-slaying tools in your Send 'em Back to Hell kit. Ammo for it was surprisingly abundant too, making the early portions of the game a virtual cakewalk on even the normal difficulty setting. Another new toy in Resurrection offered was the gravity gun, ripped straight from the hands of Gordon Freeman without so much as an apology or even an IOU. Though considerably less useful than said Cheney stick, it was nonetheless welcome and helped round out your array of weapons. Sadly, new enemy types were limited to some reskinned zombies and a new kind of imp. One wished that the devs had crawled deep into their own sick, twisted minds to concoct new and devilish demons to include in this expansion, but they were probably too busy playing Half-Life 2 and coveting its gravity gun so much they just implemented that instead and let the original cast of demons more or less fall where they may. With a single-player campaign clocking in at around 10 hours, though, nobody could fault Resurrection for its brevity, at least in terms of expansion packs. And you didn't even need to own Doom 3 to play it. Still, anybody who wasn't initially taken with Doom 3 undoubtedly found little in Resurrection to change their minds. Its fans, such as myself, felt an opportunity for new enemy types and more diverse scenery was missed as well. Still, everything that made Doom 3 enjoyable returned in Resurrection. But by then it just hadn't aged as well as one might expect considering all the other great shooters saturating the market. Even so, playing Doom 3 back-to-back with Resurrection of Evil sounds like a good way to kill a slow weekend. And 1,000 demons.